Knowledge is a major and significant ingredient for safety. It's important that you and everyone who operates an excavator understands proper machine operation and recognizes situations that could result in an accident, serious injury, or even death to you or someone working with you. No single training course, instruction manual, or safety video can possibly list all of the elements that go into safe operation and maintenance. However, this presentation will cover some of the key points you should know and follow while operating or maintaining a Doosan excavator. The Operation and Maintenance Manual is your primary guide for safe operation and maintenance. It should be kept in the cab, where it will be available for the operator and others. Another valuable training resource is the AEM Safety Manual for Hydraulic Excavators, produced by the Association of Equipment Manufacturers. The operator and other personnel working around the excavator must read, understand, and follow the safety instructions provided by the manufacturer. The operator must also read, follow, and understand the machine safety and information decals provided on the machine before attempting to operate, maintain, or service the machine. Any decal or machine sign that becomes worn, damaged, or missing should be promptly replaced. Never operate an excavator without proper instruction and knowledge. You will see this safety alert symbol throughout the presentation, as well as in the manual and on machine safety decals. It identifies important safety messages. When you see it, be alert to the possibility of serious injury or death. This symbol points out actions you should avoid to reduce the potential for injury. Once you have familiarized yourself with the machine, make certain you are appropriately dressed for the job. Do not wear loose clothing or anything else that may catch on controls or in moving parts. You should equip yourself with the proper personal protective equipment, such as a hard hat, safety vest, gloves, and hearing protection. Once your Doosan excavator is on the worksite, be sure to check the work area for potential hazards such as utility lines, slopes, drop-offs, soft spots, or obstructions, and inquire about any underground hazards. Call before you dig. The operator must know and understand the appropriate hand, flag, and horn signals for proper job site communication. The overall size and weight of the excavator and attachments must be known to ensure proper clearances while operating or transporting the machine, and to make sure the working surfaces are strong enough to support the excavator. The operator should follow all job site safety rules and be familiar with applicable local, state, and federal regulations. To ensure the safety of yourself and others at the worksite, never operate an excavator or any other equipment while under the influence of alcohol, drugs, or medication that may impair your vision or judgment. Access to the excavator and job site must be restricted. Only authorized personnel should be allowed in the vicinity of the worksite. No one other than the operator should be on or near the excavator when it's in operation. Remember, no riders. The operator must check for proper tail swing clearances and determine safe working distances. Use barrier tape, traffic cones, fencing, or other means to keep bystanders and other equipment out of the work area. Prior to operation, perform a daily walk-around inspection. The tires, if equipped, should be inspected for the correct inflation, cuts, and excessive wear. If your excavator is equipped with tracks, the operator should check for proper track tension. The lights, cab glass, and mirrors should be cleaned and inspected for damage. The operator should stop operation and resolve the problem if their visibility becomes restricted due to broken, dirty, or out of adjustment mirrors or lights. Inspect the attachment and coupler for loose, broken, or missing parts. Look for any unusual wear patterns and cracked welds. Any damaged or missing parts should be repaired or replaced. Next, check the fluid levels, including the engine and hydraulic oil and coolant, for sufficient levels. Your Doosan excavator should be kept clean and free from dirt, flammable debris, and spilled oil or fuel. Keep all steps, walking, and working surfaces clean and inspect them for damage. Use only the manufacturer's designated access system for getting on and off the excavator. Never use control levers as grab handles. This can cause the excavator to unexpectedly move, causing serious injury or death. When getting on or off the machine, use the steps and grab handles, and always face the machine and maintain a 3-point contact at all times. To avoid potential injury, Do not carry tools and never jump from the machine. Once you're inside the cab, inspect the seatbelt. If any parts are missing or damaged, they must be replaced. The work equipment of the Doosan excavator is operated by left and right control levers or joysticks. An optional selector valve located behind the cabin can be used to change control patterns between ISO and BHL. If your excavator does not come equipped with the optional selector valve, ISO is the standard control pattern. In the ISO control pattern, the left joystick controls the operation of the arm and swing of the upper structure. Moving the joystick forward moves the arm out. Pulling it back moves the arm in. Moving the joystick to the right rotates the upper structure to the right. And moving it to the left rotates the upper structure to the left. The right joystick in the ISO control pattern controls the operation of the boom and bucket. Moving the joystick forward lowers the boom, while pulling it back raises it. Moving the joystick to the right dumps or opens the bucket. Moving it to the left crowds or curls the bucket. In the BHL control pattern, the joystick controls for the arm and boom are reversed from the ISO pattern. Know what control pattern your excavator is set to before operating. Now, let's talk about starting the machine. Prior to starting the machine, ensure the safety lever is down in the lock position, which disables the work equipment. Securely fasten the seatbelt and adjust it so that it's snug across your hips for restraint. On wheeled machines, engage the parking brake. Turn the key to the on position. When operating in cold temperatures, the engine preheater will automatically activate, and a preheat indicator light will appear on the dash. Wait until the indicator light goes out prior to starting the engine. Before starting the engine, look around for bystanders or obstacles and sound the horn to alert any bystanders. Turn the key all the way to the start position and hold. Release the key switch when the engine starts. Never attempt to start the machine or operate it from outside the operator's position. Next, move the safety lever up into the unlock position to activate the boom, arm, bucket, and upper structure swing functions. Increase engine speed by turning the speed control dial. Check the operation of all joysticks and control levers, lights, and switches for proper operation. Before moving the machine forward or backwards, become familiar with the travel controls. Before traveling, be sure you know which direction the machine is facing. On a machine equipped with tracks, the rear of the machine is identified by the location of the track drive sprocket. On wheeled excavators, the steerable axle is the front of the machine. If the upper structure is rotated 180 degrees from the front of the machine, the travel controls will operate in the opposite direction. Move the machine back and forth, checking the travel alarm or other motion alarms for proper operation. Depending on how your excavator is equipped, you should also check the parking brake, service brake, and swing brake according to the instructions in the operation and maintenance manual. Be sure the display panel is functioning and monitoring important machine functions. The standard rear view camera that provides an additional means for operator visibility of the work area must also be functioning properly. Always secure the door and windows before operating the excavator. Achieving a productive workday requires following several general rules. Here are a few basic guidelines. First, use good judgment and common sense when excavating and using the attachments. Keep your body inside the cab while operating and operate the controls smoothly. Remember to always fasten your seatbelt. When traveling or swinging, always look in the direction of travel. Keep people out of the swing area and travel path. Never allow other personnel to be on the excavator while in operation. No riders. Use shoring equipment when required to protect other workers from cave-ins when working in excavation trenches. Do not exceed the maximum load or rated lift capacity. If you're using the excavator to lift a suspended load, you must check the lift capacity for the particular attachment. Attach chains or slings to the manufacturer's designated lifting points on the excavator. Be sure the load is balanced and use a tagline. Each excavator has a rated lift capacity. These load limits must not be exceeded. Overloading could cause tipping and result in serious injury or death and damage to the machine or attachment. Be sure to check the machine's swing radius. Keep bystanders away. When driving a wheeled excavator, slow down before turning and when changing direction. Reduce your speed and stop before changing the direction of travel. Should your path of travel include crossing bridges or traveling through water, be sure the weight of the excavator and attachments do not exceed the permitted bridge capacity, widths, or the permissible water depth as explained in the Operation and Maintenance Manual. When operating your Doosan excavator on rough ground, travel slow and keep the attachment as close to the ground as possible for better stability and visibility. To avoid a rollover, avoid slippery or excessive slopes of 15 degrees or more. Only travel up and down a steep grade and never travel across the slope. Do not change your direction of travel while on a slope and never swing the work equipment from the uphill to the downhill side. Doosan excavators are optimized for attachment versatility to help you do more with different attachments. Whether you're utilizing a thumb, breaker, or other attachments, be sure to check that the attachment coupler is properly attached and locked. Use only approved Doosan attachments that match the machine's lifting capacities and performance specifications. And with any suspended load or attachment, never raise or move the load over other personnel. When working in hazardous areas, be extremely alert. When working near an excavation, keep the excavator at a safe distance away from the edge and avoid undercutting a high bank. Do not dig under the machine or stabilizers. When operating on a slope, swing to the uphill side to dump the load if possible. If downhill dumping is necessary, swing only as far as required to dump the bucket. Make sure you know the location of gas lines, water pipes, and underground power cables before excavating. Call before you dig. You must maintain the minimum distance required by law from underground gas, power lines, telephone, and water utilities. Doosan excavators are equipped with many safety features. The cab is the most obvious. The cab provides a rollover protective structure, or ROPS, falling object protective structures, or FOPS, and tip-over protection structures known as TOPS are also equipped on some excavators. Operator protection guards are available to provide additional operator protection from falling or flying objects if working conditions require them. These safety and protective structures should never be removed or modified. Any parts that are missing or damaged must be replaced. The cab also includes a secondary exit in the event the primary exit is blocked. Simply remove the hammer from the storage location and break the window. After operating your Doosan excavator, the machine must be properly shut down and secured. Park the excavator on firm, level ground. Lower the bucket or attachment to the ground. Make sure the controls are in neutral, and then lower the safety lever to the locked position. On wheeled excavators, engage the parking brake. Set the engine speed control to low idle. The engine should then be turned off and the key removed. You can now exit the machine using three-point contact. Avoid parking on slopes. If the excavator must be parked on a slope, block the tracks or wheels to prevent the excavator from rolling. If the excavator is not operated for an extended period of time, additional service may be required as explained in the Operation and Maintenance Manual. When loading and unloading an excavator, never use additional work equipment to assist in the process. Always use loading ramps free of grease, oil, and ice. The ramps must be of adequate strength, capacity, width, and length to prevent a rollover situation. Turn the auto idle switch off when loading the machine and travel slowly up the ramps. Keep the heavy end of the machine uphill. When transporting the machine over the road, you must be sure the machine is properly secured and the swing lock is engaged. Know the proper dimensions of the overall load, review all local, state, and federal regulations, and plan your travel route to avoid overhead obstacles or potential hazards. An escort vehicle might also be required. All Doosan excavators should receive regular maintenance checks to maintain high performance. Park the excavator in a well-ventilated area on firm, level ground. If the machine must be in an enclosed area, be sure the area is properly ventilated. Always perform your maintenance safely. Read the shop manuals and follow the service decals provided on the machine. It is recommended to wear eye protection while performing maintenance checks. Do not smoke when performing maintenance, especially when filling the fuel tank or charging the battery. Be sure the attachments are lowered to the ground with the safety lever in the lock position. The machine should be shut down with the key removed. All controls must be in the off position, locked and tagged if possible. Before performing any maintenance, allow the machine to cool down. Next, release the hydraulic pressure following the manufacturer's instructions to prevent serious injury from fluids under pressure. On wheeled excavators, inspect the tires for cuts, excessive wear, and proper tire inflation. If equipped with tracks, check for proper tension, loose or broken shoes and bolts, and worn or damaged pins and bushings. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions for proper track adjustment and maintenance. Check and refill fluid levels, including engine oil and coolant, keeping away from hot engine and exhaust system components. Clean up any spilled oil, fuel, or other fluids. Remove any dirt, flammable debris, or objects to prevent fires and for proper airflow for cooling. Check the air cleaner filter. When fueling the machine, never do so with the engine running, and be sure you only use ultra-low sulfur fuel for proper emission control system performance. When towing a wheeled excavator, be sure to read and follow the operation maintenance manual for proper towing procedures. Operating a Doosan excavator safely depends upon the operator's proficiency and knowledge of the excavator, reading, understanding, and following the appropriate safety rules, observing and adjusting to job site conditions, and applying personal skills and common sense during operations. While it's not practical or possible to cover every aspect of excavator safety you may encounter on the job site, the rules and instructions in this presentation will provide you with a starting point for developing good safety habits. Knowledge is a major and significant ingredient for becoming a proficient and safe operator. Applying that knowledge will make you that operator. For additional information about Doosan training resources, contact your Doosan authorized dealer.